Hello guys, welcome back to Vision NLP Core Python Training Part 5. So in today's table of content will be we are going to see just revise what concepts we discussed last day. Okay, so on last day we have studied how to define user defined functions. One was there are four type of user defined functions based on whether we provide arguments to that or not, and whether that user defined function returns some value or not. So based on that there are four types of user defined function. One is without argument and with return, without return. So another was without argument but with return. Third one was with argument and no return, and fourth one was with arguments and with return. Okay, so in today's lecture we are going to see modules, how to define a module, also how to import a module, and what are libraries, how to import libraries, how to install libraries. Okay, so these some things are going to see we are going to see in modules section. Then we are going to see how to handle exceptions, or how exception handling is done in Python. Okay, uh, so for that we are going to see the try and except commands. Also after that we are going to see how reading and writing commands are used in Python. Okay, so basically we are going to see how to read and write CSV files. Also we are going to see how to read and write Word files, that is Microsoft Word files, and how to read and write JSON files. Okay, so let us get started. So basically what is a module? So module is a file consisting of Python code, like any file which is having Python code and which has got saved by name .py by an extension .py is called an module. Okay, so basically in that file we can have different functions. We can write different functions, such as like mean function, or we can define a print function, and we can call these functions outside that file also. So this type of coding structure is called a module. Okay, so also the a module can be defined function. Module can have defined functions, classes and variables, anything we want. Okay, so up to now we have not seen what are classes in Python. I'm going to teach you how to define class variables, that is basically related to object oriented programming, in last lecture of this entire tutorial. But up to now we have seen how to define a function and what are variables. Okay, so today we are going to have we are going to develop modules which are having only functions and different type of variables. Okay, another type module can also include renewable code. So we can enter into that particular Python file and we can change programming, we can add programming inside that file. So this is this way we can renew our code. Okay, and also the code should be runnable. That means there should not be any exception or some syntax error like that. So the code should be runnable also. So basically how to import a module. So if if a module is in library format, then we can import it anywhere, like using the import statement. Like consider there is a very famous library for mathematical operations named NumPy, and I wanted to import it. So we have to make sure that first that library is installed, and then we can import it using import statement, this import and then the module name. Okay, or the Python file name, whatever file is. Like here I have defined my module with Python file name like trial, so I am importing this trial. Okay, also if I wanted to import a library, I can use the same import statement. But what we have to make sure is that this whatever module we are going to import, that should be in file path, or that module should be saved in the same directory we are using. Okay, if it is a library, then then there is no need of no any need such a need that the library should be saved in that particular directory or like that. But when we are importing a module, then we have to make sure that that particular module is stored at the same directory we are working, or we have to give an extension path. Okay, so this is all about modules. So let us define a module. Here I have defined a module named trial.py, and I have written a function into that module like print function, and I am passing an argument name to that print function. And okay, I am passing an argument name to that function, and I am printing hello, and after that I am using this name function over here. Okay, so after this printing I am printing how are you. Okay, so this is one function in my module named trial. Okay, so we can define many other functions also, and now I will save this entire file. So for saving we can use control yes or anything like that. Now I will show how I just went to this file. For going to this file I have to make sure I am using this GUI, that is Jupyter Notebook GUI. Then I can click on to this new file, and then I have to write like here we can start a new notebook or a text file. So for starting a text file I can write click over here and new file will get started. Okay, and now we can write whatever we want to write into that. Okay, so but we have to make sure that my module is saved with the name .py, with the file extension .py. Okay, so here we can see the it is saved with the extension .py. And now I want to import that particular module. So for importing that module I have to use import statement, and I have imported this trial uh, uh, module. Okay, so also I have to make sure that this module is at the same in the same directory which I am using right now. Okay, so here we can see a file named trial.py. Okay, so this is my module, and I am in this particular directory named Python programming, desktop Python programming, and I am currently in this shell. So I have to make sure that my module is also present in the same directory. Okay, so here it is present in the same directory. Now I will import it. So I will just restart my whole shell because the indexing is way far away from 1. So I have to rerun this code. Now after importing this particular module, I can access whatever function I have defined in that particular module using this type of command. Okay, so for accessing a particular module I have to use this whatever name I have imported, so trial, and that then I have to give this dot function, and then I will use this print function. What this function was defined previously over here, like the print function. Okay, and then I will as an argument I will give a name world. Okay, so basically what this will do, my kernel is restarting right now and it is taking time, why I don't know. Okay, so I hope it has got restarted very well. Yeah, so I have imported my module, and then to access a particular function from that module I have to give the module name first, this trial, and then after this dot I can use the use whatever function I have defined over here, and as an argument I will pass this string. Okay, the world. Okay, so this is how we can access a module. So this module has printed it. Why it is printing for 4 times? Okay, so there is some problem, I think. Trial dot function. So right now I will just so basically we will define a new module named trial1, and this module is going to have two statements. One will be mean function. We will define a mean function into that, and another will be a print function. Okay, so let us define that module over here. Now first I have to make sure I have to change the name of this file, whatever file I am going to write. Okay, so this is like trial1 dot py, because all modules should be named with py file. Then I will define a function to get mean of two variables, two numbers. For defining we use def, then mean, and number one and number two. Okay, so arithmetic mean of these two numbers will be number 1 plus number 2 divided by 2, and I will return this arithmetic mean. Return this arithmetic mean. Okay, now this is one function, and we will define another one function also called print function, def print func. Okay, and this print function will print some we are going to send a string over here to print. Okay, or we will print this arithmetic mean. So mean, not mean, and print so this is how we have defined a new module named sorry so this is how we have defined a new module named trial1.py, and we will import this module in our programming file. Okay, so I have defined this module, so I will just leave this line. Now I need to import that particular module, so for that we will use import statement. Import trial1, I think there is no space. Yeah, there is no space or underline, so I think there is some spelling mistake. Trial1, so while defining this particular function, it has thrown one syntax error, that is unexpected EOL while pressing. That means there is some syntax error present in this particular function, so we have to make sure what is that function, what is the syntax error. So here we can see I forgot to complete this parenthesis, and that's why there was this syntax error when the parenthesis of a print statement. So that's I make sure we have to make sure that everything is all right. Okay, and then I will run again that function. Now that particular module has got imported, and it is it is really fine. Okay, so now what we will do, we will access the access only mean function out of that trial module. Okay, so for that we have to use this code trial dot mean, and now we have in the mean function we need to provide two numbers. So let us provide two numbers, that is 20 and 50. Okay, and for running we have, if we run this, oh, there is lot MEN, why? Okay, so I've sorry guys. So here we can see it has printed this trial one dot mean. So mean of these two numbers we have printed using this trial module. Okay, so now I want to print this whole function, whole mean, using print function. So for that we can use this command trial one dot print. After using print, if I hit this tab, whatever function it is, whatever function defined in that particular module will get automatically written like that, like this print func, and then I have to pass the arguments in the parentheses. So this is my output. Okay, so basically why there are two different two printings in this function. So I will just make sure when I will define a new function, why it is currently I am not able to understand why it is throwing such a problem. Okay, so we will move on to another functions, like what is a package. So basically what is a package in Python? So package is a collection of modules, like whatever I defined in this particular type of module. So this can be a little small module. So a collection of different modules is named as a package. Okay, so there can be like hundreds of modules, or there cannot be a single there can be only a single module in a package. Okay, now they are simple directories but with a twist. Okay, so what is package? Package is a simple directory. Directory means it can be a folder, and into that folder we can place different Python files, but that is with twist. Like there what is the twist in it? That there has to be a file named underscore underscore init.py. Okay, so here in that particular directory there has to have a Python file named underscore underscore in it. Okay, and in this file we have to go, we are going to define different functions, or we are going to call different functions. Okay, so this is a declaration of a package. Okay, and as a directory can contain subdirectories or folders, same way Python package can have sub packages also. So this is the architecture of a Python package. Okay, so and now what is a library? Because when we write a Python program in real world, we don't use packages, but we access those packages from a library. Okay, so what is a library actually? So library is a collection of packages. Okay, so basically we have to know this hierarchy, that package is a collection of modules, and modules can have different classes, different Python functions. So and a library can have collection of packages, so there can be more than one or two or three three packages. Okay, so library is a collection of packages. Okay, so now let us see how to install a library. Basically this we can basically if I try to show you how to define a package, so it will take a really long time, and it is actually beyond scope of this particular training program. So basically at the last I will show you how to define or how to use OOP, but not how to define a module. Okay, so now let us move on to library. So what is a library? So or what is how to install a library? To install library, there are two ways to install a library. One is using command line and another one is using a Jupyter notebook. Okay, so basically we can on command line we can use this pip install whatever package we want to install, package or library we want to install. And if we run this command, you have to make sure that your internet is on. That particular package or that particular library will get installed from internet to your computer. Okay, so using this command, and that way also we can access that particular package in Jupyter notebook. Okay, so whenever you install a package using pip command line, that package can also be accessible in Jupyter notebook. So no need to use the Jupyter notebook command. You have to either use one of these two commands. Okay, so while installing a package using Jupyter notebook, we have to use this type of command. Okay, so for demo I will show you one example how to install a library using command line. So let us start here I have a command line. So this is my command line. See command prompt, and now I wanted to install, like consider I wanted to install a pandas library which is useful for data frames and all. So for installing I have to use pip install command ins. Okay, so when I write this command and enter, my this package will get installed. If there is no any problem, this package will get installed with any problem. Okay, so here also you can see I was trying previously I was trying to install this exceptions library, but I was not able to install because there was some version error. Okay, so there can have version errors in Python while installing a library. Okay, like if your Python is having version currently my Python is of 3.7, and if I am trying to install a library which is suitable for version Python 2.7, then but the replicate of that particular version is not stored in Python Python 3.7, then there can be an error called a version error. Okay, now after running this particular command, here you can see that requirement already satisfied. So what does this means? That I have installed that particular library previously, so there is no need to install that particular library again. Okay, so this is a way of installing a library using command line or command prompt. So while using how to install a library using Jupyter or this particular interface. So for installing sorry we have to run this type of command like pip okay. So this particular command will do the same work what this particular command did in command prompt, and that command will also try to install the pandas library. Okay, so whenever you are stuck in such a programming, so such things you have to make sure that you use either any of the way you find suitable to install a library. Okay, so this is how there is also the same warning that requirement is already satisfied, so it is not installing it. Okay, so now we will move on to another point of exception handling. How to handle an how to handle an exception. Okay, so now let us define a list of integers ranging from 10 to 20, and now we will try to find moving average of two numbers. Okay, so average of adjacent to two numbers. So in for loop we are going to check uh, we are going to print out the average of these two numbers, consecutive numbers, and for using that we have to use for loop. Okay, so for getting the average, first we will define arithmetic mean program, or we can access the arithmetic mean program which was defined in a trial one module also. Okay, so I will just define this. I will not define, I will not run this cell. So if I don't run this cell, this module is not defined. So we can use module, use this mean function from trial one module. Okay. Now in for loop we are going to check arithmetic mean of two numbers, two consecutive numbers, and that this function will be working iteratively. Okay, so when I run this command, there will be an error. Yeah, so when I run this command, it throws an error, that index error, list index out of range. Okay, so for last iteration the value of I will be 10, and uh, value of I plus 1 will be 11. Okay, so basically in this particular list there are only 10 items and we are accessing 11th item from that particular list, and that's why this particular error throws. So how to tackle this particular problem? So for tackling such a problem, we can use this type of statements like try and except. Okay, so this is the same function as I defined above. This is the same for loop. Now I will use this main function because my there is two times printing happening. So here I am accessing this mean function and I am providing two numbers, but this all these operations are getting executing in this try and except command sentences. Okay, so when I run this particular command, you can see there is no any error. Okay, so this is how we can use a try and except command to get rid of exceptions. Okay, so whenever you find any such a problem, like you are going out of index, or if while printing a string, if you are going out of index while printing string also, then too you can use a try and except command. Okay, to just get rid of that particular error. So now we will see how to read and write files. So for the first file type will be CSV file. So there are many ways of reading and writing files. Why actually this reading and writing is necessary? Like whenever using a data frame, or we want to work on a data frame, then we have to make sure that we can import that data frame. Also, like if a data is stored into a text format, like if we are working on some NLP related project, natural language processing related project, then we have to make sure that we shall be able to import that particular file into our Python shell, and we can access it. Okay, so for such operations we have to study how to import a particular file. Okay, so now let us there are many ways of importing CSV file. Particularly, like we can use pandas package for importing a CSV file. Okay, or we can use CSV package or a CSV library for importing a CSV file. Also we can use a pickle library for importing a CSV file, also a JSON file. Okay, so there are different ways, but I will show you only two ways over here. Okay, so now to import a CSV file, I know I have to import CSV package. So for that I will use this command, import CSV. Now I want to read a particular file which is stored at this particular file location. Okay, and which is having empty cars data. So we have to make sure that whenever we are using a using Windows for programming, the and whenever we wanted to get item location, like here this is one CSV file, and I wanted to get these properties. Whenever I wanted to get its file path, so while accessing the file path, we have to make sure that the slashes are backslashes, and we have to convert it to these type of slashes. Okay. um, so whenever you import a file, you have to make sure you provide these type of slashes. You have to replace them in the file path. Then you have to give whatever file you wanted to import. Now we are going to import that particular file. Okay, so for importing, we have to press this R command over here. If we are going to dump that file, that means if we are going to write that file, then we can use W over here. Okay, and we have to define this whole thing as a file, and then uh, reader reader equal to csv dot there is an inbuilt function in this CSV package. That function is csv.reader, and whatever file we have defined. Okay, and this function will import a file stored at this particular location, and the file will get assigned to a variable named reader. Okay, and now I want to write entities one by one, or row by I wanted to print rows of this particular reader function. So for that I can use this for statement for row in reader. So the values of row, the row variable will take iteratively values from this reader CSV imported file, and it will print. Okay, so this is how it will look. This is the file which I have stored at this particular file location. Okay, so now how to write a file. Okay, so for writing a file, we have to make sure whatever file location I want to write, I have to assign it over here. If I don't give any file location previous to this particular the file name, that means we are going to save that file in the same directory at where we are working. Okay, now for writing file, we have to press W over here, and there is actually no need of this new line command, so I will just remove this, and I wanted to save that particular file. Whatever this operation has done is saved into this file name. Okay, and now I will use csv.writer command to write that particular file. Okay, so now we have to and while after executing this particular command up to the third line, a file will get dumped or will get created at particular file location with a name vision nlp underscore team.csv. Okay, now I wanted to assign names, or I wanted to add some data into that CSV file. Okay, so for that we can use this write row function. We have saved the entire name using this writer command at this writer command, and now I can use a write row function and provide values in the same format, like in the comma separated format. Okay, so basically long form of CSV is comma separated separated values. Okay, so I have placed all the information using comma separated. Now I want to, in first row I want to save this variable names such as serial number, then name, and then designation. In second row I wanted to save elements such as one, then Shweta Gargade, and then founder and CEO. Then on third, this is the Vision NLP team, and I will save all these elements. I have provided all these elements in one by one row format. Okay, and when I execute this command, we can see that there is a file stored at this particular location. Okay, so I think previously also there was this file, so I will just delete this and rerun that particular command. Then you can see that particular file get stored. Okay, now here we can see this particular file has got stored again after running that particular command. Okay, so we will open that particular file also. It will take time, until then we will move on. So there is another way of importing a CSV file also. So for that we can use a use the pandas library. Okay, so there is a way of So this is the file which I had saved over here. Okay, so let us go back to our own coding file. So the another way of importing a CSV file. So in another way, we can use pandas library. So while there is one functionality developed in Python, like whenever we wanted to import a file or import a module, we can name it in a short form. Okay, so here I have imported this pandas library, and I have saved this entire library as a PD in a shortcut named PD. Okay, so I can access modules which are saved in this library using pd dot command. So whatever whenever I write pd dot, then I can access entirely saved modules into that particular pandas dictionary. Okay, so here I have imported this pandas library. Now I for importing CSV file using pandas library, there is a command named read CSV for read CSV. And uh, so after using this particular command, actually my PC is getting hanged, its RAM is getting overloaded, and that's why it is causing some problems. So there is this read CSV file read CSV function. So this is inbuilt function, and we can in this function we can give the file path of which we want to import that particular file. Okay, so there are two ways of providing a file path. Like this was the previous way. So here I had given entire file path from the drive itself. Okay, so this was my entire file path for empty cars data, and now I know that I am working in this particular directory, that Python programming directory. So there are two ways of defining such or accessing such a file which is followed by some other directory. So okay, so I know that my this empty cars data is in Python folder which is stored in Python programming directory. So for that I can use this dash command. Okay, so whenever we use this dash or this dot slash method, so does this what is the working of this particular command? It will take whatever libraries or whatever files are after inside our particular working directory. Okay, so if consider if I am working in Python programming directory, and if I use this dot slash command, so using this command I can access all the folders which are stored into that Python programming directory, into that Python programming folder. Okay, so this is the way of this is a shortcut way of accessing a particular file path. Okay, so when we are using read CSV, we have to just press this command, and then this particular library will import that particular that data or load that data into our Python shell, and we can assign this whatever importation has been done into a variable named data. Okay, and now the variable type of this data will be a Python data frame type. Okay, so let us see what is variable type of this data. So for getting a variable type, we have to use this type command, and after using this data command, we can see the data type of this particular variable is pandas core frame data frame. Okay, so this is the data type of this particular data. Now we can print this entire data using print statement like this data, and it will print all the values which are stored. Or we can see only if we wish, we can see only the top five observations using dot head command. Okay, and we have to give whatever number of rows we wanted to see. Like here I wanted to see 5 numbers, so that 5 rows, top 5 rows. So that's why I have used this head 5. Okay, so it has just printed only 5 numbers. Okay, so basically this what this problem is because of I think that is because of some initialization variable initialization problem. Whenever I was restarting my kernel, that might have caused this double printing problem. So whenever I will restart my entire session, that this problem can get resolved. Okay, now let us try to read a word file. Okay, so basically for reading word files also there are two different ways of reading that file. Let us reading and writing that particular text file. So for reading, we will use docs docs to text library. Okay, so now this is also simple format of reading, simple way of reading that particular file. When while reading, we can use docs to text dot process command to import that file. And now we have to in the parenthesis we have to give the file path of that particular directory. Whenever we provide a file path, we have to make sure that the file path is in double quotation or that is in single quotation. Okay, so here I have placed that file path in double quotation. Okay, and I will print the result. Okay, so this was my file, that hello world good morning and let us have a cup of tea. Okay, so this was the file path. So I will not show you today how to write the word file because there was an error named version error which I showed you before some time also. So when I was trying to install library named docs, there is another library called docs for importing and uh, importing, that is reading and writing a word file. But that particular library is having some version issue with my PC. So I will try to resolve that issue by tomorrow and show you how to import files using docs library. Okay, or this will be like an assignment. If you guys also having the same issue, then you can comment on it, comment on group. Okay, so I will get back to you using that. So another file types we use is JSON files. So there are like two ways of using this reading and writing these JSON files. So JSON files can contain a list, or JSON file can contain a dictionary. So basically while writing a dictionary, mostly we use JSON files to write that dictionary. Okay, so for reading and writing there are two ways, two libraries to read write operations of JSON files. One is JSON and another one is pickle. Okay, so when we use pickle, we have to assign the name, assign the use, assign the extension dot JSON whenever we write that or whenever we try to dump that file. Okay, so now let us define a list first. Okay, so here I will define a list. um, I will firstly I will go I will show you how to write a JSON file. Okay, so up to now there is no JSON file written, so that's why it may cause an error. So first I will show you how to write a JSON file. Now previously we defined one list called LST, which was having some it was a list of integers from 10 to 19. Okay, and now I want to write this particular list in JSON format. So for writing I can use this operation like with open. Now I want to dump that particular file, that's why I have to use this W in single quote. Then whatever file name I want to dump, like here I am writing a list, so that's why I am using this result LST format file name. Okay, then followed by the extension what I wanted the extension of JSON, and I will store all these values as fp, like file path in this particular variable file path. And now I will use this JSON library to dump this particular list with this name. Okay, so for that we can use this JSON dot dump command. Then whatever file I want to write, that file name is written at the first position in the parenthesis, and whatever file name we want to assign when it will get stored into a directory, that file name is given as at the second position. Okay, so this is how we can dump a file. Now now if I wanted to import that file or read that file back, so for that we can use the same way, but we have to make sure that we give proper names. Like we can use this with open command, then a result whatever I wanted to import, then in parenthesis I can use this r for reading, and then I can use this as fb, like file path, fp file path, and I will ask the JSON to load whatever values that are stored in this particular file path, and store the imported values in this data variable name called data. Okay, so this particular error was because of while importing there is no need to use this r command. Okay, so basically this command this problem was with because of fp. I will So while importing there is no need to keep this r parameter. Okay, so by default it takes r parameter whenever we give with open command. Whenever we use this with open command, the default parameter is r, so that's why there is no need to use r each and every time when we read a particular file. But if we want to write a particular file, then we have to make sure we use w over here. Okay, now there are uh, whenever we write a file, this particular operation is called writing a file or dumping a file. Okay, so there are two ways called write a file or a dump a file. So mostly in Python programming, while doing Python programming, writing a file is called a dumping file. Okay, so that's why there was this command that json dot dump. Okay, and this command helped us to write this particular file. So here whenever we import this particular data, we can see it is the same data what we had stored at this particular list format. Okay, so now we will check how to write a dictionary. So for that we have to define one dictionary. So here we will define a dictionary called named dict. Then it will have three keys called red, yellow and pink, and values stored to that keys will be 3 to 1. For yellow key the value is 143, and for pink key the value is 444. And I let us define this dictionary. So uh, let us print this dictionary also. So here is our dictionary. Okay, also we can check data type of this using type function. So here we can see the data type of this dictionary is dictionary for a dict type. Okay, and now I wanted to write this dictionary using this uh, JSON library. Okay, so for that we can for first we have to use this with open command. Then in with open we have to provide a file name, whatever file name I want. Like I wanted to have this result underscore dict file, then dot json file name, and I want to write this file. That's why we have to keep w over here, and I will store all these values as fp. And while dumping I have to provide this fp over at the second position in the dump command. Okay, and what I want to write, that is the first variable. So I wanted to write a dictionary uh, which is declared by the name dct, so that's why I have used this command. Okay, So this is how we can write a dictionary. And also, while importing or while reading that particular dictionary, we can use this with open command. Result dict dot json, then in quotes we have to give r, and I want to use all these information stored as f, and now I will use this json dot, what was that command, dot load. Okay, dot load this f, and after this json loads uh, that particular file, it has to be assigned to some particular name or particular variable. So for that I will use this data1 variable name, and now it has imported that particular file, particular json file which has got stored at a particular at a current directory, and I will now print that particular print whatever I have imported. So it is the same directory which I have written. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. In next lecture we will see like object oriented programming, or like how to use python pandas library, and for data manipulation and all that. So we will stop here today.
Ah,
Thank you, guys.
muted.